For In the News TV Daily, we got some exclusive footage of 6ix9ine being ran down on by guys who took $750,000 worth of jewelry. In this video, you can hear 6ix9ine explaining that he had a daughter. Now, for some reason, the more and more that the information is coming out about this case and in court, I'm starting to feel sorry for 6ix9ine. He really didn't do anything wrong but make music and fool the public. See the clip in this video and find out why he was ran down on at 5 o'clock in the morning. It was all on camera. Make sure to press the thumbs up button. Let's get this video to 3,000 likes. I'm sure we can do it. Now take the moment to do that for me. Thanks so much for supporting my effort. I'm sure you're subscribed with the bell notifications on, so I want to thank you. Now let's get into the news.
I'm in the news with it.
Now everyone has been on social media talking about the Brooklyn rapper 6ix9ine. But the rappers Meek Mill and Snoop Dogg stood out amongst the majority of the posts. Now Meek Mill, who has had his trouble with being locked up in and out, 18 to like 30 years old, he had a problem with 6ix9ine. He said this on his social media. He said, 6ix9ine is going to federal courthouse, kids. Message of the day, don't be a G, be yourself. And he put the hashtag, clout is not the route, get money. Now the actual post got over 90,000 likes and 35,000 retweets. So the masses definitely supported Meek Mill's statements. Now also, the OG legend Snoop Dogg wasn't happy about 6ix9ine being safe and secured a federal lockup location with other informants. He posted emojis on his page which basically said he didn't condone that. Now this actual post got 590,000 likes on social media. So like I said, man, Snoop actually went through the same thing when he was young, back in 94, 93, I might be off on my years. He actually caught a body, or his security caught a body, and they stood tall, took it to trial, and of course, since Snoop Dogg is relevant for the past 30 years, they did get the case dismissed. They was found not guilty. So I guess he feels some type of way, Meek Mill feels some type of way, because at the end of the day, they stood up and they didn't tell on their friends. And that's why they're looking down on 6ix9ine. Like I said, 590,000 people agree with Snoop, and then 90,000 people agree with Meek Mill. Now, when I say perception is everything, this is a true fact. The more real and proven information is coming out in court, it seems like 6ix9ine had no clue what he was getting into. He really didn't even partake in what he portrayed in his music and videos. Now, of course, while covering the case, 6ix9ine actually did do a few things he wasn't supposed to do, like record incidents from cars and pretty much hyping up real life situation in events after the fact and then before the fact. But as of whole, 6ix9ine was the breadwinner for the crew in the community. He put a lot of money in people's pockets, and he made the whole aura of Brooklyn feel proud to have a rapper that was tough, and people actually believed him because he had the people behind him that wasn't going to let anything happen to him. Now, the same people he paid and put money in their pockets was the same people he's testifying on. Mind you, he only knew these people for 1 year, from 2017 to 2018. So basically, when 6ix9ine started to get popular and famous with his music, 6ix9ine was back with pretty much everyone in Brooklyn, and especially in the non-Trey territory. So 6ix9ine had his manager Shotty on one side, who shows throughout this case was the man who protected 6ix9ine throughout his music career. And then on the other side, we have a guy named Harv. His official name, his real name is Elliot, so don't get him confused. Harv and Elliot is the same person, who was more like security to 6ix9ine. Now, whenever 6ix9ine got into something, according to the court documents, he would go directly or contact Harv immediately. Those three people collectively worked together, and it was a strong group, and they eventually kept 6ix9ine out of sight and very comfortable when he moved in the city or out the city. This is until Harv and Shotty fell out because of several circumstances. Of course, competition, and then it was competition on who had more power in the gang, and then who was getting more money from 6ix9ine. This is where they fell out. Now, it's always either a woman or money that made the crew fall down. So when I say this really seems like 6ix9ine was a good kid who was talented, very believable to the public, because he didn't have any L's. So now that everything has fell down, the public wants to hold 6ix9ine accountable for something that he was only a part of for 1 year. Now, just after looking at this footage that I will show you in a minute, you can hear it in 6ix9ine's voice that he really wasn't about that life. He wanted out of this street life. He wanted out of the non-Treys, because as you can see in the video, he was by himself. He was with his driver, and they were going somewhere by themselves. Now, this is the reason he spoke on those people at the Breakfast Club interview a few days before the feds came and did a sweep on everybody. Now, if you really pay attention, 6ix9ine basically explained his life in the video, And now that I watched it last night, it seemed like he was pleading and kind of really getting everything documented on file. Now this video had over 10 million views. I'm sure the federal authorities checked it out and deciphered what he was saying now. But me personally, I changed the names in the interviews and replaced the two parties' name with Harv and Shotty, and then it made perfect sense. Now 6ix9ine mentioned that they told him that they knew where his mother lived, and they were on top of that taking money from his payments for his shows, appearances, and back ends. So when you hear the audio of 6ix9ine being ran down on by allegedly Harv and his friend in the video, it'll make perfect sense why he was trying to explain himself, that he wasn't about that life, and he was saying he was afraid, and he was just saying he wanted to live his life and not be a part of that crew anymore. Now, Tekashi 6ix9ine life should be a movie. I keep saying that, and for this situation to be so serious, I find it very entertaining. Like, we're sitting here watching an old mob cinema. Now, just by the way everything played out, a young man who came out of nowhere, he was working at a deli like I told you guys, took over the music industry by storm and used a nine as his protection. 6ix9ine basically had issues with everyone in the industry who actually responded to 6ix9ine's statements or antics. Now, majority of the people who talked back was made fun of by 6ix9ine and his crew, and when he came to the people's territory, if they was out of New York, nothing happened to 6ix9ine. Now, he documented that. He went to Houston, he had problems with the J Prince dudes, they didn't do anything to him. He went to LA, he had problems with Slim 400 and the Bees, they didn't do anything to him. And then he actually went to Chief Keef's old apartment building where bad and people are all over the place. He went there by himself and recorded the video. So when I say he didn't take any L's or he was untouchable on the internet, that's what I mean. Now, of course, I can't play the entire footage, the video pulled down, but I got y'all. I included the important audio in a small clip. See what I'm saying? 6ix9ine was definitely relaxed and he was calm, and I guess if it was his time to go, he would have been at peace because he was very calm. Like me personally, if something like that happened, I'm on, like, my adrenaline is pumping. I'm trying to get up out of there. It seemed like he was already, like he said in his court testament, he said that it was too late for him to even lock the door. But they opened the door and it had some type of commotion. I would have tried to get up out of there, but he was just kind of reasoning with the people and, you know, trying to state his case. And I guess it eventually worked because he did make it out. And this is the thing I wonder about this footage, man. It's like dash cam, like a GoPro footage. Now, it has footage from the dash, and then it has footage behind the car that shows the inside of the whole car. How did they get that, and why are they recording that? It seemed like they knew they was coming or knew somebody was looking after them. Or maybe the feds were actually recording and they didn't know. Maybe they planted it in their car. You know, the feds don't play. They want to know all the information. So that's the only thing I could think of. Either 6ix9ine knew something was about to happen, or the feds was tracking him and had that all. Now, I do admit, a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of videos ago, I was saying that that situation where he got 750K was kind of made up just to promote. But now they have the video. Just me being a real person, just looking at the video and hearing the aggression on these people that pulled up on 6ix9ine and the way the situation went down, this is definitely not fake. This is real. Now, after all of this is said and done, they are saying that 6ix9ine will still have to do 10 to 30 years in the feds after speaking. Now, you do the math. His own manager, Shotty, has been given 15 years. Now, man, with Shotty, I keep saying he was that dude. Like I say, if you're going to be in the streets doing what you do, at least be good at it. And it seems like Shotty was good at it. He didn't turn down no fades. He was protecting 6ix9ine. And even after 6ix9ine actually went through the incident with Harv where they took him, when he took 6ix9ine home, he got a large stick that they was talking about in court, and he went looking for Harv. So he was protecting the money, he was protecting 6ix9ine, but it seems like 6ix9ine didn't want to keep paying. It looked like they kept taking money out of his pockets. Shotty was given 15 years, and he did way more than 6ix9ine will ever do, and it's all documented. Now, 6ix9ine did pretty much 5% of what he's accused of, and he's telling on the big fishies. I'm saying Shotty, Mel Matrix, and Harv. It's a big possibility that 6ix9ine will walk. Now, if you really sit down and think about it, if the courts let 6ix9ine out, do you think he's going to be a problem when he gets to the streets? No. Now, let's say this. If Shotty or Melly Matrix was released next week, do you think there'll be a problem in the streets? Probably so, because they're so deep into the politics and it's just years and years of doing wrong. It'll eventually catch up to them. They probably will get in trouble again. So we'll see how this plays out. Now, comment below on what you think will happen today in court. Of course, this video is dropping 6 p.m. Eastern time, and the court information will drop a few hours later. I wanted to get this footage out because it's important information. I didn't want to. And And I wanted to make sure they explained it, somebody explained it properly and gave a backdrop. And it doesn't have any narrative with it, but I kind of explained it to you and why the situation happened. Now let's talk about this in the comments. Make sure to like the video on your way out, and I want you to vote at the top right of this video. Today's question is, do you think this video is real or scripted? Let me know. I'm in the news with it. I'll catch you on the next one.